Hello, my friends. It is Christmas Day. It's about 5 degrees out here, so I'm going to make this quick. But I wanted to wish all of you a very Merry Christmas, to all of you who celebrate. To those of you who do not, I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day as well. But I wanted to bring this up to you. I got on my computer this morning with my coffee, as I normally do, and I was almost immediately hit with this moronic post from Senator Tommy Tuberville. This guy has got to be one of the dumbest people in Washington. The only person in politics stupider than Tommy Tuberville is the guy who a plurality of Americans saw fit to elect as our president again. By the way, I can't help now and then thinking about, what does the rest of the world think about us? I mean, how do they look at us and have any respect for us when we elect a blithering idiot like this to be our leader? A country with, what do we have now, like 335 million people? And this is the guy we make president? Good God. Anyway, so I come across this post from Tommy Tuberville talking, referencing the war on Christmas. Christmas is back now that we reelected Donald Trump. And it just, got me thinking once again about how these people live in a completely different reality, which is to say they don't live in reality. They have constructed a phony reality for themselves, one that doesn't actually exist. And this fantasy land that they inhabit is how they make decisions, right? They believe all the garbage that is put forth in this fictitious world they've created for themselves. Fox News and Newsmax and all these right-wing podcasts and other platforms where they get all their news and information. All the garbage that they want to hear, because they select this nonsense to feed to fill their heads with, right? It's not that these people are ignorant. Well, it's not just that they are ignorant, because they are, but they're willfully so. I mean, they don't have to believe all this nonsense. They don't have to sit in front of the TV watching Fox News 24/7. They don't have to watch Newsmax and go to all these podcasts with conspiracy theorists and lunatics. They choose to do this, right? We could do that too. We could sit there and choose to believe all that crap, but we don't. We live in the real world. They live in this fictitious world. And one of the things that they tell themselves in this fantasy land, this MAGA fantasy land, is that there's a war on Christmas in the United States. Democrats want to get rid of Christmas. I mean, we're treated to this every single year. And it's got to be going on like 20, 30 years. I mean, this has been going on a long freaking time. Every year, it's a war on Christmas. Yet every year, I look around at this time of year, and I see Christmas everywhere. There's zero indication anywhere that Christmas is being driven from our society. Yet this is the game they play. This is the garbage they tell themselves. I was watching I saw a clip yesterday of Jordan Klepper. I think that's his name. And he was doing the man on the street stuff where he finds Trump voters and he talks to them. And they were talking about the war on Christmas. He was talking to this one guy who's going on and on about, the libs want to get rid of Christmas and corporate America has driven, Christmas out of our society. And they were standing on a street surrounded by stores, commercial enterprises, all of which were decorated for Christmas. And there was a big, Christmas tree in the background. And this Trump cultist is going on and on about how corporate America has completely driven Christmas from our society. It's just, and he believes it, even though he's in the midst of Christmas all around him. In every store window, it's Christmas blaring in your face. And this guy talking about the war on Christmas. But they believe the fantasy that they've constructed for themselves, despite the fact that the reality that their eyes can see, they just reject that. That's why it's like, you can't talk to these people. You just can't talk to them. Because there's no reality to relate to them in. I don't know. That didn't come out right. I'm still tired. I haven't even finished that first cup of coffee. But you get the point. There's no agreed upon reality upon which you can have a conversation. They don't even accept basic facts. Anything they don't want to believe is fake news. Or you probably just watched CNN or whatever the hell garbage they say. You've heard it a million times. They just flat out reject anything that they don't want to believe is true. And what they want to believe is true every year at this time is that the libs, are driving Christmas from our society, and that there's a war on Christians. It's not just a war on Christmas. There's a war on Christians. It's just nonsense. But it's not just, as you know, the garbage surrounding the war on Christmas. It's everything. And that's why it's so difficult to see how we reach any of these people. The only good news is that it's not anywhere close, I don't believe, to a majority of the people who inhabit this fantasy land, this MAGA fantasy land. I mean, everyone who's in that MAGA fantasy land, that's the cult. That is the Trump cult. But I do not believe that the Trump cult is anywhere close to a majority of the people in this country. I don't even think it's 40%. I think it's somewhere in the, around a third of the country, maybe. Now, obviously, Donald Trump got a lot more votes than just the cult. And I think those people who voted for Trump, but who are not part of the cult, they might be reachable. These are the morons who just don't pay any attention. They're dumb as a box of rocks. They voted for Trump because of the price of eggs. Those kind of morons. Maybe those people can be persuadable. I mean, you can't persuade them with reason because they're too dumb and too ill-informed. Well, maybe just too ill-informed. I don't know. The point is, it's not just all cult. Anyways, back to Tommy Tuberville and his stupid post. I got to get in. Didn't wear my gloves. The hands are getting pretty cold. But he says that Christmas is back, right? Because thanks to Trump. How is that? Donald Trump hasn't taken office yet. So if we don't have Christmas anymore because Joe Biden is president, don't we have to wait till next year for Christmas to be back? Right? I mean, it suddenly comes back just because we had an election the other day. It's so stupid. The whole thing's just so freaking stupid. And by the way, if you believe that whether or not we have Christmas or anything else in this society only because of who is in the White House, you're not even doing American right. It's so anti-American to even think that that's how our society, the fucking president controls everything, including whether or not we can celebrate Christmas. I mean, what kind of totalitarian hellscape do they think this country is? Again, it's MAGA fantasy land, and this is part of the MAGA fantasy. Whenever there's a Democrat in office, then, we live in an authoritarian dystopia. It's a totalitarian police state. When in fact, the truth of the matter is, what MAGA wants to impose on this country is far closer to that than anything you find when a Democrat is in office. Anyway, I'm getting in. I wish you all a very Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for watching me this year. I'm not done. We've got several days left of the year. You're going to hear hear more from me. But I just want to thank you and have a great day.